Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 65 quick facts to make you the most interesting person in the room. I enjoy fact videos, they're just quite fun to do and they always seem to go down quite well. So I mean, yeah, let's just jump into this. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon, my Instagram, my Twitter, if you're interested in any of those. But let's just get into this and see what facts pop up in this video.
There are more twins today than ever. This
I'm one of them.
is because the later you decide to give birth, the higher your chances to get twins.
Wait, the older you are? Wait, what? Why?
And people today tend to create families later than ever before. There are more living things on and inside your body than there are people on Earth. And not just twice or 3 times so. The numbers are simply mind-blowing.
That's ridiculous.
Speaking of which, bacteria make up from 2 to 9 pounds of your body weight. It's hard to imagine how many of them there are in your body.
Wait, sorry, I was looking at my audio and
Pounds
stuff.
of your body. Speaking of which, bacteria make up from 2 to 9 pounds of your body weight.
What?
It's hard to imagine
What?
how many of them there are in your body.
That's insanity, man.
If you have a kid, be prepared for question bombardment. An average 4-year-old asks something over 400
Bro.
times per day.
Is inquisitive the right word? Probably not. Maybe it is. Just wanting to know things, always asking questions. When I was a kid, bro. I mean, when I got a bit older, I used to always get told that, like, when I was a kid, I used to just ask the most random questions, like what would win between a shark and a lion, or I used to ask all these questions, and maybe all kids do that kind of stuff, but I just constantly asked about that random stuff. Like if a shark could walk on land, what would win, a shark or a lion? That's the sort of stuff that I'd always ask. So I don't doubt this. I'd probably ask more than this as well.
There's a chili pepper you can't eat if you want to stay alive. It's never used in cooking though. It was designed as a painkiller.
How is that even possible?
Scientists
Is
believe
it like too hot, or is it just the chemicals in it?
Leonardo da Vinci could write with one hand and draw pictures with the other at the same time.
That's ridiculous.
Talk about
man.
multitasking.
Yeah, that's next level.
Your outer skin gets totally replaced each month. Overall, an average human sheds about 40 pounds of skin throughout their life.
Jeez.
There's a room in Microsoft's
I thought maybe
headquarters
it'd
in
be more than
Washington that holds.
So I know I'm going back a lot, but in terms of the weight, I thought it'd be more than 20 kg. But maybe I'm sort of I'm just sort of thinking that skin weighs more than it actually does.
Life. There's a room in Microsoft's headquarters in Washington that holds a world record for being the quietest room in the world. Standing inside it, you can hear your heart beating.
Bro, a lot of YouTubers have been going in, maybe not in this room, but in rooms like this and seeing how long they can last. Doesn't it like make you go crazy? I would hate that, being able to hear your heartbeat, like that's all you can, like, bro, that's like one of my flipping, like, I hate the idea of that, man. It makes me cringe.
In August 2010, Beijing witnessed the longest traffic jam ever. It lasted 10 days and was 62 miles long. The metric system is the most widely accepted system of measurement in the world. Only 3 countries still use the imperial units: Liberia, Myanmar, and the US. John D. Rockefeller still holds the record as the richest man in the world. His net worth, adjusted for inflation, is 10 times more than that of Bill Gates.
Jeez, what the hell?
Starfish can not only regenerate their lost limbs, but even a limb can regenerate the whole starfish. Well, that's cool.
Are you joking? How? So, wait, what? Bro, I don't get it. That doesn't make any. That is ridiculous. A limb can regenerate the whole stuff. What the actual hell have I just seen? Starfish limb. Oh my days, that is insane. So, that actually blown my mind. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Thanks to the Montreal Protocol, signed in 1987, scientists believe the Earth's ozone layer will fully restore itself within a half-century.
I hope so.
Yahoo!
I mean, I hope that's true.
In 2011, Forbes decided to estimate the net worth of Scrooge McDuck. They came to a conclusion that it was $44.1 billion.
What was that?
If taken together, all ants in the world will weigh as much as the whole human population of the planet, and
Are
then
you
some.
serious? Are you serious?
Chicken are more than twice as numerous as humans. In 2009, their overall number in the world was estimated to be 18.6 billion.
God damn.
Purple is the least popular color when it comes to national flags. There are just 2 countries in the world that
What countries? What countries? I want to try and guess one. I was going to say Afghanistan. There's a country in the Middle East, I think, but I can't think of where.
use it in theirs: Dominica and Nicaragua.
Oh, I was so wrong. I would not have guessed either of these. This is an awesome flag, by the way. What the hell? Nicaragua's got one of the most insane flags ever. It's like a Pink Floyd cover mixed with like just everything. That is ridiculous. That is incredible. What the
Dominica and Nicaragua. If you've seen snow in your lifetime, consider yourself lucky. 2/3 of people on the planet can't say the same thing
That
about
blows
themselves.
my mind, man. That's insane.
Domestic chicken is the closest relative of dinosaurs. Yes, including the mighty T-Rex. Leaves on trees turn yellow and red come fall because they don't have enough warmth and sunlight to produce the green pigment chlorophyll. Cold nights and bright sunny days mean more vibrant colors. Bart Simpson should be older now than his mother was in the first season of the show. That is, if the Yellow family aged normally.
See, that's what I used to always think, like, wouldn't it be cool if in sort of these cartoon shows there was like a show where they actually aged? Maybe it wouldn't really make sense because, like, if, like, I don't know, your favourite character then ends up passing away or whatever. But, like, that's what happened in Family Guy. They didn't age, but, like, the dog died, but then it came back. Just, I think it would be quite cool that, like, if there was, like, a show, like a cartoon, like a comedy cartoon, like sort of like The Simpsons or Family Guy or just one of those sort of shows where they aged and they just aged and it constantly just, you just found out new characters and stuff. I think that'd be quite cool, but maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't work.
There's a $20 coin
Maybe
made
there's a
in
show like that, I don't know.
1933 that was sold 70 years later for more than $7 billion. Also, it was never
Mental.
actually used as currency.
Jeez.
Don't ever suppress a sneeze if you don't absolutely have to. The pressure can result in a rupture of a blood vessel in your head or neck, which can lead to injury. There's a town in Honduras where every year, at around the same time of the year, it rains fish. Scientists don't have an explanation for this phenomenon yet. Although there are 24 hours in a day, there are more than 24 time zones on the globe. Some of them are just 45 or even 30 minutes apart from their closest neighbors. Jeep is actually an abbreviation. Originally, it was called a GP, or a General Purpose Vehicle. The first Native American to greet the Pilgrims, whose name was Samoset, could speak English even before he met them.
What?
Sweden is the largest island country in the world. It has over 221,800 islands, only about 1,000 of which are inhabited.
Yeah, I wonder about how many of these people live on. Because it'd be quite cool to just have one of these islands for yourself, right?
A jellyfish melts in the sun because it's 95% water. Talk about cucumbers. In 2012, twin girls Amy and Katie were born 87 days apart. They're now in the Guinness World Records for the longest gap between the birth of twins.
Can someone make this make sense for me? Was one of the babies just ready to come out before? Is that it? Because I'm sort of thinking like, what, like when you have twins, like they come out around the same time because I don't know what the science behind it is, but they're both ready at the same time, right? I guess I'm thinking like, oh, she's pushed one of the babies out. She's just been in the hospital for 87 days, but I guess it's not like that at all. It's just one of the babies wasn't ready, you know?
Twins.
Needed a few more weeks or months.
All pandas in the world's zoo belong to China. If you see a giant panda at a zoo, you can be sure it's just a guess.
It's such
there.
a big thing when they're moved to a zoo as well, isn't it?
If you were to watch every video on YouTube, you'd have to spend 1,000 years on that. and then about 1,000 times more because of all the new videos that would appear by then. A mouse's bones are so flexible, it can fit into a ballpoint pen-sized hole. If you cage one, make sure the grid is small enough. The most popular language in the world is not English, and by far. The title belongs to Mandarin Chinese, with over 1 billion speakers around the globe.
How many speakers of English then?
The record for the longest lasting.
I think Mandarin's spoken more then, but English is more like it's everywhere. Mandarin's like in a certain area, I guess, but more people speak it, but just because China's population is insanely big.
Hiccups belongs to a man named Charles Osborne. He had this condition for 69 years straight.
That's hell.
Human
Jeez, poor
fingers
guy.
are extremely sensitive as an evolutionary perk. If your fingertips were the size of Earth, you'd feel the difference between a one-story house and a car.
What?
China is home to the most bicycles in the world. However, the most bike-friendly city is Copenhagen in Denmark.
I thought it was Amsterdam.
A giraffe's tongue is so long, the animal can clean its own ears with it, which it does every so often. I am jealous.
You're jealous.
A
Why?
hummingbird's heart beats at an average rate of 1,200 beats per minute. That's
Holy shit, man! What the? This has to be the fastest beating heart in the world.
20 beats per second. Only about 86% of the world's adult population can read, and is considered a huge leap forward compared to half a century ago.
I could just about read.
Lobsters,
Not very
due to
well.
their cold-blooded nature, can come back to life after being frozen and thawed again. And they are delicious. Just saying.
Wow.
Prairie dogs
never
kiss
really
each other
eaten
to say
lobsters.
hi. Aww. Facebook can qualify as a country of its own. Today, there are over 2 billion people using it, which is more than the population of the US, China, and Brazil combined. Africa is a challenger, though. By 2050, it's estimated to grow to 2.3 billion people living there.
Challenger for
During a
what?
flight on an airplane, our sense of
Does it
smell
taste-
and taste is 20 to 50% lower than usual.
Because Africa's not a country.
That's why the food on board doesn't seem delicious. Japan is home to the
See, I've
old-
never experienced plain food, so I can't really relate to that. But I guess when I have my first experience, I'm gonna see the constant talk about how plain food is the worst and stuff like
oldest
that.
hotel in the world. It's been welcoming guests since 705 CE.
Nuts! What the hell?
French was the official language of England for about 450 years. In 1066, William the Conqueror, who was of the French origin, brought the language to the country.
What?
Some
Mate,
of the
what
first
hell?
graffiti of the similar kind we have today appeared in Pompeii. They date back almost 2,000 years. The full name of Oz, from The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, was actually Oscar Zoroaster Friedrich Isaac Norman Henkel Emmanuel Ambrose Diggs. Yeah, I can see why he shortened it to Oz. Less keystrokes. Cows are highly social creatures, and they even have best buddies they spend most of their time together with.
So
They
what the hell
become
they
upset
interact?
if they get separated too.
How do they interact? What do they do?
In case you didn't notice,
Just
goats
move,
have
right?
rectangular pupils, and they're the only animals with such an eye structure. There's archaeological evidence of an extinct penguin species that was about 6 feet tall.
Or
Imagine
imagine,
a penguin looking at you straight in the eye.
or above you.
Hey,
for me,
nice ducks. You too, pal. It rains diamonds on Jupiter and Saturn. This happens because methane turns into carbon, which then
Right.
hardens to become graphite and eventually diamond.
you figure how to get out.
High
Figure out how to
heels
get
were
there. and you're
originally
making money,
menswear. In ancient Egypt, butchers wore them to avoid blood on the floor.
What the fuck?
Dogs don't see the world in shades of gray. In fact, they can see colors, just fewer of them than people.
So that was a lie then. I thought they'd only see black.
The name of the man who invented cotton candy was William Morrison. He was a dentist. There's a thunderstorm in Venezuela that occurs every year and lasts for about 140 to 160 nights. It even has a name, Catatumbo.
What? Wait, what?
Michelangelo couldn't stand painting the Sistine Chapel ceiling so much that he even wrote a poem about it. Ever got chills from listening to your favorite track? It's because your brain reacts to it by releasing dopamine, the happiness hormone. Figures. You probably know that tomatoes are technically berries, right? Well, bananas, peppers, and eggplants are too.
What the fuck?
John Cage,
Bananas are
an
berries.
avant-garde composer, wrote the longest musical piece in history. It's supposed to be played as slowly as possible, and it's estimated to take 639 years to play to the end.
How do you make that
Black
as a
belt
song?
in martial arts, such as karate, translates from Japanese as first step. That's because achieving the black belt is just literally the first stage of mastering the art, with much more to come yet. Charlie Chaplin once entered a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest and lost it. The same happened with Dolly Parton almost 100 years later, in 2012. Mark Zuckerberg is red and green colorblind. That's why he designed Facebook in shades of blue. That's the color he can see best. Horseshoe crabs
Lizards can't
have a
see many
total of
things,
10 eyes, 2 of which are located right on its hard shell. Crabs have a total of 10 eyes, 2 of which are
Oh.
located right on its hard shell. Well, what did you expect
Bro.
from a creature that's called a living fossil?
That's like a leaf. That's the weirdest creature I've ever seen. Yeah, some pretty insane facts here. I'd probably be the type of person who would walk into that really quiet room and scream. Yeah, but if you scream, it's not very loud, is it? I swear, like the screams, but like the sound barely picks it up. Obviously, it picks the sound up, but it's like a lot more quiet than it should be. Hiccups for 69 years, that's uncomfortable. Even 5 minutes is terrifying. I mean, I assume it wasn't every second of the day, right? I mean, maybe it did. I don't know. That's mental. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is actually interesting. I love these fact ones. They just you see the most weird, random things. But hey, if there's more of them out there, please let me know. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.